Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio, so today we need to look at all of the lovely secret rares from Night Wanderer. This video starts with a small apology from me. These are a little bit later than they normally would be, but for pretty much the past week I've been in New Orleans casting the North American International Championships. It's been amazing. I've had a huge amount of fun, but I've also been, I think it's fair to say, redonkulously busy, and that means that this is slightly later than it otherwise would have been, and for that, I apologise. So starting off with the illustration rares, we're going out of order with the New Beware. The New Beware is amazing. I love it. It's not a great card, I'm not pretending it is, but look, it's an illustration rare Beware. The art is lovely. I'm in love. We've got a new Tapu Bulu. We're back to Gen 7, 4 energy, 220, 30 to itself. Fairly unimpressive, but it's got a cool illustration rare, and that makes me happy. The Houndoom is one that a lot of people have been very excited about. I'm personally not a gigantic fan, but anytime there's other people getting excited about artwork, that makes me happy. We've got a Horsey here, and this is a good time to remind you that this is what Pokemon do with these sets. They will pick random Pokemon in the evolution line to give an illustration rare. We don't have a Seadra, and we do actually have a Kingdra, but it's a promo, and that's only really in Shrouded Fable. But now we get a Horsey by Komatsu, and it is adorable. And then we get the full Dusknoir line. Now, this is done by James Turner, who, if you don't follow on Twitter, is the best, and I mean this sincerely, the best follow on Twitter. Shares lots of fan art of nerdy stuff. I'm a gigantic fan, and these artworks are beautiful. Plus, you got that cool thing going on where the Pokemon are inching closer as you go through the card. You've got your Duskull that's kind of hanging around on the street outside. Dusclops is just over the hedge, and Dusknoir is right outside your door. Love it. Now, Cresselia is one of the few that wasn't revealed prior to the release of the set proper, and this is one which is kind of nice. It's Cresselia doing the whole flying thing like Cresselia tends to do. Satoma here, done a great job. This one looks quite ethereal, and I like it. Rend has gone and given us a Zorua sitting on top of an old temple, and oh my word, I love it. Note the darkness energy symbol in the end of the wood there is just an amazing little touch. Rend is an artist that's been giving us these stunning cards for a little while, and I am delighted. We have Kufont, not Copperaja, but they're happy and there's a rainbow and they're splashing water over themselves, so I think I'm going to allow it. We've got Fracture, again, remember, they've just gone random in the evolution line here, but I still like this one. It's very stylized, not entirely sure what the Axu in the background are doing, and I don't really care. This is a rather lovely artwork. We've got Persian staring out over the city, seeing the reflection in the window, looking pretty awesome. And then the aforementioned Beware, which I had to show you at the start because I like it that gosh darn much. Now, because we've got a bunch of special illustration rares, we're going to go through all the full arts first, and we've got the ones that aren't part of the Loyal Free, or Petulant. We've got ourselves Kingdra and Revavroom, both of which are decent enough cards. The Kingdras, for a single energy, can put 3 water Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench, and crucially, it's water Pokemon. It's not basic, it's water Pokemon. So that means stage 1, stage 2s, whatever you want, as long as it's not Palafin EX, you're good. Revavroom for a single energy does 140 as long as it became active this turn, but do remember that it's hitting for metal energy despite being a lightning Pokemon, and that 140 hits some key weaknesses, and this could be cool. Now, in terms of the Loyal Free, we've also got Petulant. That's got an ability that switches a bench darkness Pokemon with your active and poisons them, but we got stuff that in this set that really does play with the poison nicely. We've then got a really nice game-ending attack, 2 energy, 60 damage for each prize card your opponent's taken. In the late game, that is not much energy, but it is much damage. We've then got your Okidogi. Now this, as far as I'm concerned, is a star of the free in this set. Free energy, 130, but if itself is poisoned, you do 260. But with all the poison tricks we can play around with, you can actually make that up to 350 without too much effort. And I love this one. This is the big beat stick from Night Wanderer / Shrouded Fable. Monkey Dory might be the best of the free in Twilight Masquerade. I think it's the worst of the free here. It is a single prize Pokemon if you've got a Petulant EX in play, but free energy 190 is aggressively fine. And then we got Fezan Dipty with that really nice ability, whereby if you had a Pokemon KO during your opponent's last turn, you get to draw 3 cards. It doesn't stack incident, you can only use one of these regardless of how many are in play, but we saw this ability before on an Oricorio and it was amazing. So there you full art Pokemon, they're pretty cool, but check out the special illustration rare Loyal Free. And they might be looking all fairly similar, they are. They are a trio of cards, a very deliberate trio of cards done by Kantaro. You've got the weird angle face close-up, that's what I'm calling them. And we saw this, for instance, with the Ogerpon in Mask of Change, Twilight Masquerade, and we see it again here. And I think these are stunning. I'm a big fan of these. I like them way more than I'd liked the Ogerpon. And it's just nice to have this trio of them. It's a real trio of cards, and they just look brilliant. We then have the Petulant, which I think is a little disappointing compared to them, but it's still a special illustration rare, and I'm very unlikely in my boxes to pull any special illustration rare, but frankly, if I pull the Petulant, I'll be a little bit sad. Now, in terms of full art supporters, we've got 3 that appear only as a full art. We've got Chorus's Obsession. That's the one that lets you search for a stadium and an energy. Any energy, basic or special, that's a big difference. We've got Janine's Secret Technique that lets you attach 2 darkness energy from your deck, 1 to each of 2 darkness Pokemon. And sure, if you attach it to your active, they're poisoned, but things like Okidogi just don't care. And then we've got Xerosic Scheme, which is the really mean new supporter, whereby your opponent discards from their hand until they have 3 cards remaining. These are pretty cool. But then we've got Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia, of course, appearing as both a full art and a special illustration rare. I'd actually shown you these ones previously, although it's really important to note, this is the only special illustration rare supporter in the set. Because we've gone for 4 special illustration rare Pokemon, we've ended up with 1 special illustration rare supporter. To be clear, if other supporters had had special illustration rares, Cassiopeia would still be the most sought after of them. It would still be the one everybody wanted, it would still be the one that attracted the most value. But now, of course, it is by default the best special illustration rare, but it's Cassiopeia who, I suppose, spoiler alert, is actually Penny, whoa! And as a card, it's fine. You can only play it if it's the last card in your hand, but when you do, you search your deck for any 2 cards and put them into your hand. That is going to be kind of fun. Now, in terms of gold cards here, we've got a Petulant, as you might expect. But we've then got Power Hourglass. This is the new trainer card that comes as a gold card. It's a tool that, if attached to your active Pokemon at the end of your turn, lets you attach a basic energy from your discard pile to that Pokemon. Which you've got to survive for a turn or 2, admittedly. But if you do, oh, this can get you really good energy acceleration in a very good way. This is one that people could like. I like it. Or it could be massively overblown. And then you've got Earthen Vessel. This is what Pokemon tend to do in these sets. They'll find an older trainer and give you a gold reprint. But they've picked a really good one here. Earthen Vessel sees a huge amount of play. It is a staple in a whole bunch of different decks, and it just lets you discard a card from your hand to search for 2 basic energy. It's redonkulous. It's really good. And now there's going to be a gold version of it. Players are going to want this, because a lot of players like to bling out their decks. Now all of a sudden you've got a gold version of this to shoot for. That sounds good to me. I like where we are here. I think the Beware is absolutely redonkulous. The James Turner cards are amazing. I am personally a big fan of the special illustration rare Loyal Free. I might even try collecting them, even if that's not the cheapest thing to go for. And like I've said, the Gold Earthen Vessel is really going to play well with the actual players of the game, the people who are playing in tournaments regularly, and the Cassiopeia is going to be a big deal. That is going to be the most expensive card in the set, and yeah, I'm going to tell you soon how that's rolling, but it's going to be the most expensive card in the set. For now, I want to hear from you guys. I want to know which of these cards you like. I want to know which ones you're loving. I want to know anything you want to tell me. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at Lawasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.